sponsored by JMR Rentals, professional digital cinema and broadcast rentals in Brooklyn, New York. To find out more, visit their website, jmrny.com. Hello and welcome to No Rest for the Weekend, where we go behind the scenes and talk to the creators of independent entertainment. I'm Jason Godbey, and joining me via Zoom today, she is an actor who we first met when she was promoting her film 2050, making her triumphant return to the cast, Miss Stefanie Bloom. Welcome back, Stefanie.
Thank you, Jason. I'm so happy to see you and be back.
Yeah, it's great to see you too. We're not in the studio together, and
yeah, I kind of miss that. But...
Yeah, I do too. I really miss I was telling you before that my home studio is not soundproof, which I really miss about the old studio. But now you can't do anything because that studio is tiny. Remember how close we were together.
Right,
so,
right.
I don't have a socially distant studio. So even if I were in there, I'd still have to see people like this. I want to talk to you because you've had some new projects come up, so we want to talk about those. But first, we were talking about, and I've been trying to get a handle on kind of what production is like in the COVID era and just kind of get a feel for it. You've been on a number of productions. So talk about a bit like what it's like dealing with COVID protocols on the set and kind of, because you're SAG, so like dealing with SAG rules, and has it made it that much more difficult? Like, give me a what's it like now?
Things are a lot more planned out. And each set has been different, each has their own kind of way of doing things. For instance, like in the holding area for the actors, like we just had to spread out. Another set we had where holding was just hanging out in our car if we drove ourselves, or, in the van if somebody had brought you. So it's been different in that way. Of course, we're all wearing masks, like no matter where we're going, even on set. But I think it's just a matter of keeping distance. I mean, everybody has their own thing, but it's just been really, and the crews have been very drawn down. There's not many, I'm just used to the bigger, the sound guy, or there's just a person for everything. I'm just used to the sets being crowded, or, a lot of people being around. Now it's just literally down to like 2 or 3 people, including the actors maybe.
Yeah, I was telling you before we rolled that I've been working on a project where it was just like me, a sound person, and like one actor at a time, just to try to keep it safe. And, I imagine there's going to be varying degrees of, people who kind of get it and know what they're doing, and people who kind of know what they're doing. Because, let's face it, like we're, like writers, directors, actors, producers, none of us are medical people. There might be a safety officer on set, but nobody's a doctor, nobody's a nurse. Yeah. Nobody's an EMT who knows about sterilization and safety protocols. But do you feel like when you've been on set, do you feel safe?
I do. Only because everyone's very cautious, no one's making you do anything you don't want to do. And if you don't want to be there, you kind of really don't have to be. So I don't know. I feel like every experience I've had since the reopening has been a good one. And I haven't felt uncomfortable in any way, or felt like I had to do something I didn't want to.
That's good. I mean, I told people in the beginning when LA was thinking about opening up, I did a news report and I said, listen, if you are an actor, especially if you're a non-union production, if you don't think something is safe, don't do it.
Right.
It's not worth it. It's just a movie. It's just a TV show. Nobody needs to get sick. Nobody needs to die for one.
Right.
But so for you too, I think probably the biggest caution I would feel is like the hair and makeup people, because they get the closest to you. Are you kind of doing your own makeup these days, or are there people, are they really kind of are they in hazmat suits? How's it working?
Yeah, pretty much. Actually, yeah, I've only had my hair and makeup done once. And I haven't done that many projects, but I usually have come to set with my hair and makeup done. And the one time I did was, we were both had masks on, and it was kind of like the weirdest way of holding that brush and being, yeah. I mean, you're as cautious as you can be, but I feel like we made it work.
Yeah, you just need hair and makeup people with extremely long arms. You know,
Yeah.
like it is. It's just it's weird right now, and I feel like for those people too, it's like also all of their equipment has to change. So
Yeah.
you can't reuse brushes, you can't reuse any cream stick or anything like that. You know, even for just minimal powdering and stuff, you still have to make sure everything is like
Yeah.
fresh and new.
Or bring
Which
your own.
yeah, or you I guess they would have you bring your own and they could just use that. That makes sense too. Um, you know, for us dudes, we don't have probably not a lot of us have makeup kits, so you know it's a little bit question, but we also don't usually need as much makeup. But yeah, I think stuff like that, and then you know with cameras and stuff, you know when I was working, I was telling you before, like I was using long lenses,
Yeah.
you know, with people because I didn't want to have to get right up in somebody's face. So, you know, I was using like a zoom lens and I would just kind of like shoot a wide, a medium, and a close with one lens without changing. And I would stay 6 to 8 feet away from whoever was acting because, you know, when you're acting, you can't wear a mask, you know,
Right.
unless you're playing a surgeon or something like that. Maybe we'll get more surgical stories.
Yeah.
Maybe
Doctor episodics. Yeah.
everybody, or we'll do, you know, plague stories or, you know, toxic waste stories where everybody has to be in a hazmat suit anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
Everyone would watch.
they could just get your double to do it, you know. Then you just do the voiceover, you just do the ADR later.
Yeah. Yeah.
From home.
There you go.
Are you doing voice work from home too? Like I know a lot of actors are doing that.
You know, I've been seeing a lot of that lately. I have not, just because I don't have the setup for it, you know. I feel like some people do, some people don't. I do not, whatsoever. But yeah, I've been seeing a lot of that lately.
Yeah, I know people who do it, and you know, like you're a mom, so like you know, if you got kids running around and stuff, it's really hard to manage your own home studio. I mean, I've had the same thing here, trying to do this show, and you know, like my apartment isn't soundproof, so it's really difficult. And some people, I think, who do have that are going to work more because we're going
Yeah.
to see a lot more things like animation, or you're going to see a lot more voiceover work. There's probably not going to be as much live action work done.
No.
Are the shoots shorter too? Are they working you shorter days?
You know, I've had some luck with that. And you know what? It's usually you show up and you're there all day and you know, you wait around for other actors to go but no, it's a lot of it's been in and out, and, you know, they'll shoot one particular role at a time if you're not involved with somebody else. But yeah, it's been really good. And even the auditions too. Like I haven't had one in-person audition. So I don't know. It's good and bad in a way because I love that feeling, that like, you know, that excitement and that nervousness of walking into a room. But then again, it is kind of convenient doing it at home. So.
Well, again, too, it's like you have to have a setup for that too. So it's like,
Mhm.
you know, do you have a good camera? Do you have a ring light? Do you have good sound? You know, can you create your own little kind of setup? And I did a video on self-tapes a while back, and it was like these amazing contraptions that actors were setting up with lights and, you know, stuff like
Mhm.
that. And now some people have gotten really savvy and they get themselves a blue screen or something that they can put behind them, and they get, you know, and it's like, you know, if you have a small New York apartment, it's not easy to set all this stuff up in your house.
Just
But
paint your wall blue, you know.
yeah, I mean, I think self-tapes are great. And as someone who has auditioned people, it's great to kind of do a self-tape for the first round. But
Hmm.
I do want to interact with people, and I want to see what
Yeah.
they're like. How do they take direction? How are they as people? You know, if
Right.
you get somebody who's a great actor and they come across great on camera, and then you meet them for 5 minutes, and you're like, oh, this person's awful, and I don't want to deal with them. But you
Right.
know, I've been interviewing people like this, just kind of have people on Zoom and then have them read that way, and you know, results vary, kind of thing. Have you been
Right. I feel
rehearsing?
like it's hit or miss, you know.
Yeah, you've been rehearsing this way as well.
Yes, I've had my rehearsals on Zoom too, and it's just I mean, it's okay. It's convenient. You know, it's very, very convenient, but it's just not what I'm used to. I do like you said, that in-person interaction and, you know, kind of getting to know people better in person and having like conversation instead of having just one face pop up at a time or however this, you know, the Zoom works. But I I don't know. It kind of like, I mean, I'm getting used to it. I think we all are, but I don't know. I kind of want things to go back to the way they were at some point.
And you've done, I mean, in the past, I know that you've done some pretty intimate scenes with people, like love scenes and stuff like that. And like every
Mhm.
woman has to deal with that anyway. Have you had to do anything that like that since COVID?
No, nope. And I actually, I had booked a film like that right as, you know, things opened, but it's been pushed off to next year. So yeah, we'll see about that. But no, nothing, no personal interaction. Everything's been at a distance.
Which is weird, right? I mean, like I heard soap operas they were using like dummies, and they were using people who had like were married or something together if they had to do a love scene. Like they were just trying to come up with all these, because like especially on a soap, like it's like bed hopping, all the time. So like, how do you do that in a soap opera when nobody can touch or kiss anybody?
Yeah.
Unless you quarantine everybody together for a month, which that would be a nightmare. But yeah, I mean, it's people are gonna have to get creative, you know.
Yes.
Um, and do you find the other thing I'm asking people too is, do you find that shoots and like the stories are incorporating COVID, or are they trying to pretend like, are they trying not to incorporate COVID?
I haven't had any shoots yet that have like incorporated this pandemic that we're going through. But I have seen it. Like I've seen people, film an entire short just on, what we're doing right now. But I personally haven't filmed anything like that.
Yeah, it's the age-old question of like, do I want to see people in mass, and do I want to, like I haven't. When I was doing my project, I was trying not to show that, just because I
Yeah,
feel like I've seen enough of that in my everyday life. I don't want to really see it in a movie,
I
but
agree. Yeah.
at some point we're gonna have to. It's just
Yeah.
going to be part of life. But anyway, we'll move on. I know you got some projects I wanted to talk about. So you have a couple of things running right now and some stuff coming out. What do you got? What's coming out right now?
Well, what's out right now? It just came out last weekend. A movie called Joy and Hope, where I play the mom of my two daughters. So they run a ranch. Vivica Fox is in it. She stars in it. And it's streaming on pureflix.com. So I feel like everything's streaming now and everything's online and promoting each outlet, and that's where you can find that. And I did a Discovery ID show called On the Case with Paula Zane. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to reveal the plot yet, but I do get killed. Discovery Channel is always fun. I love doing those shows. A lot of them are either like murder mystery or, some mysterious like ex-lover kind of thing. But they're always so exciting. And a lot of them film here in New York. So I feel like I always do one every season. So I was like, oh, yay. I haven't seen anything since last year. So this was, I feel like, the first episodic that was kind of starting to film since March. So this has been fun. And then I have a pilot that we just finished, 4 episodes. You could find them now on YouTube, but it's Odd Job Rob, and I play the wife Diane, and it's very controversial. It's a comedy, but it just touches on everything, and it's just it's no holds bar. It's just if you're in the mood for like sarcastic laughter and something that's willing to kind of push the envelope a little bit, I would check it out. It's got political humor, it's got sexual humor, it's got medical humor. It's just I think it'll make you laugh. It's fun, it's lighthearted, and Sean Tracy directed it, and Stuart Thomas I think was the writer, and he also acts in it too. But it's just a really, really fun pilot. And I think we're going to shoot more episodes, but we're waiting to see if we could maybe even get a studio or, like everything, we're just waiting to see how this winter pans out. So we were able to luckily shoot the 4 episodes, and it's funny.
Yeah, we were talking about, so I've talked to people recently, like who run festivals and things like that. And, kind of talking about maybe because of what's happening now, and because people with projects with large crews are really hard to do. Like if you have 50 or 100 people on a set, it's really hard to do that and still be COVID compliant. Does that mean that there's a chance for the indie crews to come out and that stuff, smaller scale productions, to actually get bought and find a market. I mean, I hope that's the case. I hope that there is a silver lining under this giant cloud that says, we can all get work or get something sold. But it's not easy. It's not easy for anybody. But I think it might be an advantage to the little guys who can kind of run and gun and do stuff on the fly and not have to worry about getting a big crew together and, like getting everybody tested and Hollywood rules and stuff like that. But you do something with like 3 people,
Right.
maybe it's better. All right. So very cool. So we'll look out for those. I know you also had done another show that was maybe on Amazon. I want to say, was it Little Cupid?
Yes.
Is that currently on Amazon?
That is, and it's also on UKW Media. They're also streaming it. Actually, that's the same director for Joy and Hope. So, she, I play a mom on there. A beautiful, beautiful story. Actually, film was kind of halted because of this whole COVID thing. And the guy who plays my husband, Cody Calafiore, he actually just won Big Brother. He was filming that in LA all summer. So, and he won the show. So I'm sure filming might pick up maybe next year, but she's filming a lot of movies right now here on Long Island. But Little Cupid, you could also find that on Amazon too. It's a nice family story, like a family, you could sit down with your family and watch it. And it's just about love and loss and about the military and, trying to connect with the other side. And you don't know if, I don't want to give anything away, but I think you're left with what we've shot so far. You don't know if I don't know if I'm giving too much away. You don't know if my husband or my, it's mostly that father-daughter relationship you see a lot. And I just come in and I'm kind of second guessing if my husband is an angel or not. So it's really
interesting.
Good. Yeah, it's really good.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So, look out for that. So I had been saying, I've done this a couple of times with certain guests and mainly with actors. As you know, James Lipton, the man behind Inside the Actor Studio, passed away pretty recently. And so I'm carrying on the tradition / stealing the same questionnaire that he stole from Bernard Pivot, this legendary questionnaire that I've been doing with certain actors. So I thought we would do that today because we have some time. And I'll just go through it with you. I tell people it's almost like an exercise of like free word association type thing. So just come up with whatever is on top. The first answer that comes to your mind. That's what I'm looking for. All right. All right. So Stefanie, what is your favorite word? My favorite word.
Oh my gosh. One word? Oh gosh. My favorite word. Hey. I use it a lot. Hey.
What is your least favorite word?
Ooh. Whatever.
That's on my list too, right near the top of the least favorite words. All right. So what turns you on creatively, spiritually? What kind of lights your pilot light?
Creativity. I love it. I love anything that's like inventive or I don't know. I'm just like obsessed with creative people, creative things. I don't know. I just love learning about like new stuff, especially in our field. So I know, creativity for me.
What turns you off?
Egos. Yeah.
Which we also get quite a bit in our business.
Yes. There's a lot in this business.
What sound or noise do you love?
The ocean. I love it. Everywhere I go, vacation, home, I just love it.
And conversely, what sound or noise do you hate?
Sirens. Just because, you live in a busy area. I live in a busy area. So sirens. Ugh.
Yeah,
they're not comforting whatsoever.
For me, I would also add leaf blowers to that. So that's like the worst sound in the world. Okay, I love this question. what profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
Oh, wow. And I've thought about, I'm like, what would I do if I wasn't acting? It's just one of those things where it's like, you only give yourself one avenue because you love it. What would I do if I wasn't acting? I'd be some sort of like public speaker in some way. I don't know if it would be too close for like in the field, but I would want to be like, I don't know, maybe like some sort of talk show host. Is that too close? Yeah, that might be too close in the field.
No, that works.
Because I separate the two, but I don't know. I would maybe I would be on your end. I would be the interview.
Right. That's not bad. Conversely, what profession would you not like to attempt? You don't want any part of, any shape or form.
That I would not, anything that like, I guess would be dirty, I would never want to do construction. I would never oh my God, I give so much credit to them, but I could never do it. Nothing. Oh my gosh. No, I couldn't do it.
And this is everybody's favorite question. What is your favorite curse word?
Ooh, wait, I'm allowed to say it?
Yeah, you can say it.
I'm always saying fuck. It's just like second nature. It's like, oh gosh, I just use it in every term. I don't know.
Well, you are from Long Island, which is that is part of the native vernacular out there. I mean, New Yorkers in general. I once met a woman whose language had no cursing in it. They didn't have swear words, and I was like, "How do you talk?" I was like, "I'm from Brooklyn. How do you converse?" I have
to actually sometimes think like, "Okay, you cannot curse."
You have to make a conscious effort for it.
Yeah.
And then the last question is, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you enter the pearly gates?
Oh, wow. Ooh. Welcome, you naughty girl. No. I saw your movies. No. Are you sure you're allowed in here? No, I'm kidding. I don't know. I've never actually thought of that, but yeah, I don't know. I would expect them to be laughing at me like, wow,
Thanks so much. That was fun. That was great.
Oh, thank you.
So you have more stuff coming out. Hopefully the stuff that you've been filming will come out. I know a lot of things have been delayed, because, and even, stuff that is filming, stuff like major productions have had to stop. And I'm sure there's a bit of touch and go with, the stuff that you're doing as well. But, keep us posted, let us know. And, hopefully people can catch that. And, if people do want to find you and find out more, or if people want to hire you, where can they find you on the web?
I do have a website, StefanieBloom.com. You can always find me on social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. I do TikToks now, but everything is my name, Stefanie Bloom. So you'll be able to find me. And
you're Stephanie with an F.
Yes, Stephanie with an F. Right. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks so much. And I'm going to wrap up, but thanks for coming. This was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, it was. Thanks, Jason.
And that's all the time we have for today. Thanks so much for taking this trip down the rabbit hole. For more of our content, including our movie reviews, visit our website, norestfortheweekendpodcast.com. Don't forget to like, rate, and subscribe on your favorite podcast app. And once again, I'd like to thank my guest, Stefanie Bloom, and thank to JMR Rentals for sponsoring this episode. For Behind the Rabbit Productions, I'm Jason Godbey. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.